Well, here we go. Brianna Copeland to lead things off for Indiana. The first pitch in Columbia, one of the toughest regionals in the country, tied for second according to the adjusted average RPI, behind only UCLA.
Yeah, there's some great pitching in this regional as well as some really good hitters.
So many of these teams have played close games to get to this point. Indiana in the Big Ten tournament, Missouri making their way through the SEC tournament. Washington has struggled lately, but they've been so close.
Yeah, a lot of extra inning games, a lot of wins that were 2-1, 3-2. Washington obviously has struggled as of lately on the wrong side of those close games. But, you know, in postseason, you never know what's going to happen.
They didn't seem phased when we talked to them yesterday, said that they just have to trust the process. Slow roller to the left side. Holtorf takes care of it. Another in a great line of defensive shortstops at Washington, and there's one out. Shonda Stanton, year 7, back-to-back 40-win seasons. Before last year, they hadn't had a 40-win season since 1994. Dropped the championship in the Big Ten to Michigan, but made a great run as the 8 seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Shonda Stanton's come in and helped rebuild this Indiana program to their former success that they had back in the 80s. She's been a great addition to the Indiana program.
Yeah, nod to that history. They had 4 Women's College World Series appearances from 1979 to 1986.
Yes. The head coach of that program was a historic coach, Coach Gail Blevins. She eventually ended up coaching at Iowa, but led Indiana to those Women's College World Series appearances. And she's also second all-time in NCAA Division I wins. So definitely a historic coach there through the program. And Shonda Stanton, Coach Stanton, I'm sure, is trying to, you know, only do justice to her in the Indiana program.
As so far, especially these last couple seasons. Here is Minnick. Lefty-lefty matchup with 1 away, 2 strikes, and she fouls it back against Lindsay Lopez, the senior from Santan Valley, Arizona. First team All Pac-12 as a junior at Arizona State in 2022. That was for Tricia Ford, and it was her last year at Arizona State. So Ford departed. Lopez did as well, but went west instead of south. That goes off the base and not in time to get Minnick. So a well-placed ball from Taylor Minnick, and they've got a 1-out base runner. That's got to be frustrating as a pitcher, right?
Yeah, just a ground ball, low ground ball here. The defense is playing back, and it hit the base, you know, and that often happens. First base needs to, Brooke Nelson here probably needs to go up in front of the base to get that ball. It adds in a piece of the shift, the defensive shift. Just a little unlucky there.
Now Sarah Stone, another power hitter in this order. 44 RBIs on the season, is second best on the team. They have 3 batters in the lineup who have produced 40-plus RBIs this season. The only team in the regional with any player who has 40-plus RBIs, and they've got 3 of them. This is the best offensive team in the regional. The most runs, hits, home runs of any team in Columbia. They've matched their average from last year, which set a program record. Popped up, and a nice job by Lopez to come forward and get it. There's 2 outs. Talked about Washington's close losses. How do you try to get out of that funk when you are so close? And they talked about it. Yeah. It's a pitch here. It's an inch or 2 here on a fair or foul ball. How do you change that? Yeah,
you know, the game's funny. The game is really funny. There's a lot of close games, and you can end up on either side just by a strike here, a great diving catch by an outfielder. You know, things like that can change the game. And I think the most important thing is your mindset, right? You can't let those close games continue to follow you, right? Especially now that you're in postseason play. It wipes the slate clean. Your body of work got you here. You know, your strength of schedule, your RPI got you here. And now you have a chance to reset everything, reset your stats, reset your intention and your mindset. And I think that's where it comes really a key piece for these athletes to find out who's going to be the most determined out there, who's going to not let the little things get to them, who's going to be the more aggressive team and the more determined team upstairs in their head. Yeah.
We talked about right off the top the experience of Washington, 10 returners from that Women's College World Series team a year ago. Now, they did lose some major pieces. The top 4 bats in their order, led by Bailey Klingler, who was a 3-time All-American, so not exactly a seamless transition, although they made it look great early in the season, and they've made it to this point, but certainly wasn't easy for Heather Tarr and company to replace those pieces. Sent into left field. That'll get down in front of Hobson. It's a base hit for Avery Parker, the catcher, and they're in business with 2 outs.
Second baseman, number 5, Allie Van Brandt.
Just a changeup here by Lindsay Lopez. Stays a little bit over the middle of the plate. Parker's able to keep her hands back and not fold much to be able to drop that into shallow left field.
Sophomore from Westfield, Indiana. All Big Ten third team last year as a freshman. She's increased her power numbers this year a little bit. Here is a freshman, Allie Van Brandt. Got the chance to talk to her yesterday and said, I'm excited, trying to keep my emotions in check and stay focused. You remember your first postseason appearance?
Oh, definitely. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of excitement, nervous energy. Allie Van Brandt going to a traditional slap there. She is able to do a couple of different things offensively here. She can slap, she can bunt, she can hit, and she also does what I would call a 2-step hitting. We'll see if she pulls that out today. I'll keep an eye out for that for you.
Another foul ball there by Van Brandt. We asked her why Indiana. She's from Ottawa Lake, Michigan. She was sitting next to her coach, Shonda Stanton, and said, well, because of her. Coach said, hey, thanks.
Thanks.
Appreciate that.
I mean, I think that's a good answer when your coach is sitting right next to you. She must have done a good job recruiting.
Yeah. Look out over there, over Shonda Stanton and Sis Bates and Victoria Hayward in the Washington dugout.
Yeah. I like that Allie Van Brandt's going to a slap here. Lefty on lefty matchup, it can be a little bit difficult for those hitters, those lefty hitters, to keep their shoulders in on those curveballs, but a slap allows them to get that breaking point earlier. We often see, just like Allie is here, slappers against a left-handed pitcher fouling off multiple pitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, because as a lefty pitcher, you're trying to get your curveball to break earlier, right? And if it breaks too early and the hitter doesn't swing, then it's just an obvious ball. So you're trying to find that fine line on the curve. See, there it is again, a little bit off the plate. Here's Lindsay Lopez with the curveball, just trying to early breaking point there. But again, it broke too much too early. So Allie was able to get herself even back up in the count.
Ground ball to the second baseman, Solis. She takes care of it. And Washington, brought to you by Capital One for the Washington Huskies. This is a deep lineup, 10 bats on this roster hitting .281 or better, 8 of those at .319 or higher, and they're led by Brooke Nelson, a fifth-year player. It was a joy to talk to her yesterday, just taking in this experience as it's her last go-round as a Husky.
Yeah, Brooke Nelson, she's, hasn't been a starter all 4 years, or 5 years, because she's a grad, I guess. So, but she turned it around and has said, my philosophy has been work while you wait. And she's definitely capitalized on that opportunity in her last season.
Brooklyn Carter, the center fielder, leading things off for the Huskies. Sophomore from Inglewood, California. She's doubled her hit total from a season ago. We talked about those bats that they lost, so new faces stepping up in big ways.
Yes. Yeah, Brooklyn Carter, a slapper. She can't hit as well, but she is wicked fast. This girl can run, speed at the top of the lineup. I like that pitch there from Brianna Copeland. Obviously, with someone really fast, where better to hit it than first base or second base? A short throw here. They go in on Brianna Copeland, or Brianna Copeland goes in, excuse me, on Carter, just trying to get her to ground out or a fly out. That also works pretty well.
Shallow pop-up to Kettleman for the first out. A good start for Copeland. Heather Tarr, 30 straight postseason appearances for this program. She's been a part of it as a player and a coach. 10-10 against top 25 teams. They've lost 4 straight entering the weekend, 6 of their last 7, but 5 of those 6 losses were by 2 or less runs.
Yeah. Coach Heather Tarr, she's in her 20th season for the University of Washington. You might know her as well as she's the lead coach, the head coach for Team USA, and was the assistant during the Tokyo 2020 run.
Popped up high on the infield. Cooper takes control of it, and then there's quickly 2 outs for Copeland. Just 8 pitches to get those first 2 outs. Jillian Solis, the second baseman now, to try and get something going. Grad student from Corona, California, and one of just 2 transfers for Washington. She comes from San Diego State, which has become really a powerhouse program under Stacey Newman-Denise after what they did last year, just a win away from the Women's College World Series, and they'll try to do it again at UCLA this weekend. Solis leads the Huskies with 13 doubles on the season. Slowed down a little bit, had 9 multi-hit games in the first 22. Just 4 multi-hit games in the last 22. So she'd love to start producing at that big level again here in the postseason. It's this high into left field. That's caught. 1-2-3 inning for Brianna Copeland, and Indiana zeros after a team that is so good defensively, always seem to have one of the best defensive shortstops around.
Yes, I think, you know, the University of Washington, when we immediately think of Washington as of late and under Coach Tarr's helm, defense, like all I think about is Sports Center-esque defensive plays, shortstop, second base, outfield, all around just solid defensive plays year in and year out.
What stood out to you about Heather Tarr when you played with the national team?
Well, I can definitely say she helped me defensively. Honestly, I think she has a great way of connecting to the athletes, but also pushing them. She ran a very swift practice, so it was intense and quick, and everybody's moving all the time, and you know what to expect in the practice. And I think as an athlete, when you're practicing at that high intensity level and you know what's there, you can raise your level of play so that when you're in the game, it makes you think slower, right? So if practice is a faster pace, more intense, it allows your brain to think through plays and situations a little bit easier in the game.
That's why we see them 23 errors on the season, best in the Pac-12, as that is grounded to the second baseman Solis, and they retire Alex Cooper to start the second inning. That's one big out right there, because Cooper has been so good down the stretch in this season, hitting .383 over the last 27 games after just .180 in the first 31. Down to Aaliyah Andrews, the right fielder and senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, as she watches strike one from Lindsay Lopez. Other action going on around the country. Tennessee underway against Dayton in the bottom of the second. That game's still tied. It's upstairs for ball one. You can keep an eye on scores all weekend. The upper right of your screen. This is a ground ball to Holtorf, who takes care of it. 2 outs.
Number 25, the Hoosiers DP, Cora Bassett.
Down to the 8-hole Cora Bassett. Lopez has been pounding the strike zone. 28 of her 33 pitches have been strikes. A lot of foul balls from this Hoosiers team.
Yeah, definitely think, Lindsay Lopez being able to just continue to throw strikes, right? You got to set the tone and also allow your Washington defense to be able to make those plays behind you. Lopez throws that curveball in the outside corner as well as inside, so being able to get jammed ground balls, we've seen a few to Riley Holtorf already, and just getting those easy ground balls, quick outs as you like to see, and then managing the slappers or the lefties that might foul off her curveball a little bit more.
Popped up on the infield. Solis shielding the sun and makes the catch after a 25-pitch first inning. It takes just 11 in the second for Lindsay Lopez. One of the best sporting events of the calendar year.
Absolutely, shall we say mayhem. It's the best time of the year for every softball player, fan, and alumni and families alumni to just watch some of the best players in the country go at it.
All starts right here. Day one, so important if you want to advance historically, as Brooke Nelson takes her first cut. What will be her last regional appearance with the Washington Huskies. Swings through that. Copeland has looked really good.
That's her drop ball right there. Fell off the bottom of the plate a little bit. Nice to see her mixing that in. As both Coach Shonda Statton and Brianna Copeland have mentioned, she's been working on it quite a bit.
Foul territory, and it does just get out of play near the bullpen.
Brianna Copeland's pitching coach is Chonda Bell. Here's our foul ball from Brooke Nelson. Brooke Benson went to the wall pretty hard there, but seems to be okay. When you're in postseason softball, effort is everything, right? So
we've seen some incredible catches over the years. It seems like that's always part of it, not just the big hit, but also those defensive master classes that we've seen.
Yeah, the defensive effort, making the big plays. Inches. And I don't like to say it, but it is true. In every championship run, there is a tad bit of luck. There is a tad bit of luck that you dove at the right time and it was, inches into your glove.
Copeland just misses there. The Indiana side wanted that call, but Brooke Nelson is aboard with a leadoff walk. These two programs have met 3 times before. Washington holds a 2-1 all-time series lead. The last meeting in 2017. The last Indiana win was 1993. Nelson was kind of in no man's land for just a second there.
Yeah, Indiana got a little lucky there. Alana Johnson missed the bunt, or maybe that was a missed play there. Avery Parker was able to pull up, keep her from advancing to second base on the ball in the dirt.
1-1 count for Alana Johnson, the right fielder. In the dirt, and this time Nelson does advance. Nice job by Van Brandt to back that up, or else Nelson might be standing on third, but nobody out here for the heart of this order.
This is the pitch into the dirt, that drop ball that we're talking about. Avery Parker goes to try to block it. She does, keeps it in front, but it does bounce away from her. Brooke Nelson able to take second base.
Two count here. Nelson at second, who grew up a Washington fan. Her dad, Ed, played football there. This is hit hard into right center field. Diving and can't make the catch. It goes to the wall. Washington on the board first. An RBI double for Johnson, and she'll advance to third.
That's a big advancement right there by Alana Johnson. Heads up base running to get to third base and be able to put the insurance run just 60 feet away. Good effort. We love to see the dive here by Cassidy Kettleman. Aaliyah Andrews is there for the backup, but when the throw comes in, it's offline and allows Alana Johnson to get into third base with no outs.
38th RBI of the season for Johnson, her 7th double. As Kinsey Fiedler gets a chance now, the DP. Local product, so she's got some family and friends in attendance this weekend from Lee Summit, Missouri, just a couple hours from here.
She shows bunt on that. Bunt could be a good strategic move to add another base runner.
It's this high into center field, going back toward the track. It's caught there by Kettleman, but that'll score the run easily, and two come across for Washington.
Catcher number 24, Sydney Stewart.
All started with a leadoff walk. And then Nelson able to move up on the wild pitch before the double from Alana Johnson.
Yeah, and then a throwing miscue on the infield allowed Alana to move up to third base, and a sac fly to center field.
It's really, we talked to Shonda Stanton, and she said we have to win the little things battle.
Yes.
And that's one of those little things that doesn't go for them.
Yeah, she called it the freebie war, and she mentioned not only does that include the walks, it includes the stolen bases or advancing on throws, things that kind of affect the outcome of a game, and allowing people to not only advance on the base path, but be able to put them in a momentum aspect to not only take the momentum, but also create their own momentum.
There was a fresh rosin bag delivered to Copeland in the circle. That was the brief break there. Catcher Sydney Stewart is ahead in the count, 2-0. Catches the outside corner, good location for strike one.
Yeah, nice curveball there by Brianna Copeland.
Over 185 innings on the season now for Copeland. So that's fouled away, and it's 2-2. Their other primary arm is Sophie Kleiman, a sophomore. She's thrown over 120 innings. Gets away from her 3-2. Need to try to limit the damage to 2 here in the second. The left field deep, but it's going foul. Both teams in these first couple innings, nothing overly easy for the pitching staffs. A lot of foul balls.
There's Sydney Stewart, look how she's able to drop her hands, and especially that back knee, able to get her barrel to that ball, a little bit having to protect that inside corner.
3-2, and that's fouled back.
Yeah, and there she goes again with that reach across the plate, able to protect the outside corner.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming from Brianna Copeland. And does get the inside corner, away from Parker for a moment, but that is out number 2.
Brianna Copeland, she goes back to that inside corner, knowing that she has a little bit more space there, a little low rise right at the back hip of Sydney Stewart.
First strikeout, and it's looking to Stewart. Strike one to Giselle Alvarez, the third baseman, the freshman from Los Alamitos, California. All Pac-12 freshman team this year. Way out in front of that pitch, it's 0-2. Two pitchers have kind of duplicated each other's numbers in reverse, though, as that's lofted into center field for a base hit by Alvarez. 28th pitch of the inning for Copeland. She had only 12 in the first inning. Now a 2-out runner for Washington.
Good piece of hitting by Giselle Alvarez here. Takes that outside pitch, pulls it just slightly into shallow center field.
Just a little too much of the plate there?
Yeah, I would say maybe breaking point. It didn't break as sharp as some of her other pitches. You know, you want that tight spin, and that tight spin is going to create that sharp break on curveballs and on rise balls and drop balls.
Right back to Copeland, so she bounces back, but 2 runs come across.
Softball teams.
Ooh, hard hit to the first base side. Nelson takes care of it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Number 16, the pitcher.
A sharp hit, but just stellar defense by Brooke Nelson at first base.
As the shortstop, Brooke Benson, back to the top of the order for Indiana. Brianna Copeland trying to help out her own cause.
Yeah, two-way player Brianna Copeland does it on the mound in at bat for the Hoosiers, batting .330, 8 home runs, so she definitely has some pop in her bat.
Leads them with 18 stolen bases as well on the season.
Hey, do it all, Brianna, do it all.
No kidding. Over 100 on the year as a team, and she's got a little fan section there.
Yes, she does.
Her mom in attendance this weekend. She said, if you don't know my mom, you will after this weekend. Her mom, Carol.
Oh, there she is. Look at her. Look at her getting the video of her daughter. You know, softball's such a family sport, so you know, we grow up playing the game, and our moms and dads are coaches and catchers and batting practice helpers, and they travel along to all the tournaments across the country, and you know, it's exciting for them as well, right, to make it onto regionals and into the Women's College World Series, supporting their baby girls.
Hoping to see something special here. That's outside 2-2. She doesn't trust our cameramen yet.
It's the angle, I guess. I don't know. She's got to be able to text it to, you know, all the family, I guess, or before she can clip it from the ESPN networks.
I love the shot though of her in the background with Brianna at the plate. That is so cool. She's locked in right now. If we need some help, if we need any subs, she's got us. 2-2, that's outside. Great AB right now after that first pitch out to start the inning.
Yeah, Brianna Copeland's having a great at-bat right now, working the count.
Another foul ball. And to give Indiana a base runner and some momentum after an AB like this. 3-2. In kind of on the hands, shallow left center field, and Carter roams over to make the catch. 2 outs.
Yeah. Lindsay Lopez with her curveball here. She kept trying to go inside. She elevates it just a little bit. Brianna Copeland not able to get full barrel to it for a fly ball to Brooklyn Carter.
That lefty-lefty matchup with Minnick again.
Yeah, that lefty-lefty matchup. Good first pitch by Lindsay Lopez, the backdoor curve. You know, Lopez does such a great job varying her heights on her curveball. She's able to put a little bit of spin on the end of it so that it might tail up or tail down. Being able to vary the levels or the lanes of her curveball allows it to be more effective than just straight across. And something that as a youth athlete, you start with just your curveball and being able to execute that. But then just like there, she drops down her curveball a little bit to be able to get us. That comes in year and out thinking about Washington. They have a knack for defensive great plays, shortstops, middle infielders. So they've just done a great job defensively. They're fun to watch. And let's see, Coach Tarr's in her 20th season, and Washington, 30 consecutive regionals.
Surpassed 800 wins this season. Made 3 straight Women's College World Series appearances from 2017 to 2019. The winningest head coach of any program in Washington history, as that's a base hit for the top of the order, Brooklyn Carter, and all that speed on the base pass for the Huskies.
Great piece of hitting here by Brooklyn Carter. She slaps coming across, power slaps through. You can see her really extend through her upper body there to put some gusto on that pitch.
Now the shortstop, Holtorf, popped out to the third baseman her first time up. Carter starting to dig in over there at first base, and they hand her the oven mitt.
Yeah.
To protect the hand now on the second pitch.
Yeah. Carter's definitely a threat to steal. And she's going to need that. She's going to need that Evo shield.
Almost got away from Parker, but does a nice job to keep Carter at first base for the time being. It's a 2-0 count though now for Holtorf. There's strike one.
Yeah, nice pitch there by Brianna Copeland. Inside corner with his screwball there. Being aggressive. Holtorf did show bunt her last pitch, a sneaky bunt to be exact, but so good job by Brianna Copeland coming in strong with a strike.
And it goes into the dugout.
I think we see these bunt. We've seen Washington show bunt several times now. It's important to get the defense thinking that, hey, we might drop the bunt here. If you look at the Indiana defense right now, they are playing in almost a 3-back and not worried about a bunt at all. So getting the defensive moving and being aware that, hey, we might drop something here. Don't get so comfortable in your positions back there. Yeah, you can see Allie Van Brandt there. She's almost playing at the grass, shading up the middle a little bit.
Carter got a great jump. I don't think she was going, but really nice secondary lead there, and they get the out, but basically works as a sacrifice.
Number 17, second base.
Tar loves the AB from her junior shortstop, Riley Holtorf. Down to the 3-hole, Jillian Solis flew out to left field, her first trip to the plate. Copeland misses outside for ball 1. Ooh, it's fouled off of herself.
Ouch. Ooh, got her in the, let's see, the back knee / calf?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Kneecalf? Yeah, no, I don't think she blinked on that one. Nice shot of the Sis Bates cleats, former Washington athlete.
Ground ball right side. It almost looked like he got stuck in Van Brandt's glove for a second, and then Carter pushed back to third base by the throw from Stone. 2 away.
Allie Van Brandt playing up the middle a little bit, taking that away. And then the throw back to get Carter. Carter, you know, she's speedy, and those Indiana defense, they know it.
Great spot from Copeland there to start off Brooke Nelson with strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch, that is ripped toward Brooklyn. Carter tried to shrink on the baseline.
Look at this. Oh, the dangers of being a base runner at third base. Great job getting out of the way there.
No thank you, the way Brooke Nelson's been swinging it this season. 0-2, watches it outside. Nelson also a two-way player. She's thrown 32 2/3 on the season, 14 appearances in the circle, but it's really been the bat that's done it. Hit .391 with 8 home runs and 22 RBIs in Pac-12 play alone.
Impressive.
Washington Gatorade Player of the Year way back when now, after she's in her 5th season as a grad student. Where else would you go but Washington? But Copeland sets her down, looking by 7th-year Indiana Hoosiers head coach Shonda Stanton. Coach, message to the team right now, down 2-0.
Well, first, thanks to Mizzou being host, and you know, we got to swing early. You know, we talked yesterday about the freebie war and the inning that they scored 2. Maybe they should have gotten 1. You know, not only the walk, but the miscues defensively. And so we just got to be better, play loose and free. When we do that, we got to attack early. We're letting her get ahead, first pitch strikes. We go out, do our thing, we'll be okay. We're in striking distance, and that's all we can ask right now.
Hey, Coach Stanton, just first off, congratulations again on making the regionals.
Thanks, Monica.
But, you know, Lindsay Lopez is inducing quite a few ground balls. What's the adjustment offensively you all need to do moving into later in the game?
Well, we call that amateur hour when you roll over ground balls, so you got to be able to stay through it. I want head-high line drives in the gap, and that's swing decisions, right? We're guessing a little bit. Sometimes we're a little early, sometimes we're a little bit late. And so I just want something over the plate. Quit worrying about whether you're chasing the back door or what you're chasing and hunting. I want a ball over the plate, and I want barrel head-high line drives.
Love it, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Go IU.
Shonda Stanton, I'll tell you what, we sat down with her. It took me about 10 seconds to think, yeah, I think a lot of people would like to play for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Just great energy. I love how she said that's amateur hour. That sounds like a conversation I would have with, you know, my husband watching softball. So just fun to hear the coaching perspective, and obviously she's rallying her players. She even mentioned as Sarah Stone was walking up to the plate, she's like, go use your stick, come on. But Lindsay Lopez, as of right now, she's been inducing a lot of ground balls, 5 of them. Indiana's been swinging early in the count now that Lindsay has settled in.
Big swing to left center field, back to the warning track, off the wall. Exactly what Coach Stanton wanted, and this is going to end up being a triple to lead off the 4th inning. Sarah Stone with the big swing.
And that was a ball over the heart of the plate, just like Coach Stanton was talking about. Lindsay Lopez with a ball elevated up in the zone. Sarah Stone's able to get her barrel to it. Almost a home run there. Brooklyn Carter wasn't able to play the wall as well as she probably would have liked. But the hustle from Sarah Stone. She sees the ball that drops, and oh my gosh, all the way into third base. Not a lot of triples for her, but right and good timing.
First one of the season, as a matter of fact, and she will take a rest as Cassidy Kettleman comes in to run for her. Indiana in business against Lopez here in the fourth. Sarah Stone hit .406 in Big Ten play. That was 5th best in the conference. It led the team. Can she spark this offense? Ground ball left side. Nice backhand play by Holtorf, and there's one out.
Wow, what a play by Riley Holtorf. Infield in protecting the run here, but Riley Holtorf with the backhand. She checks first to see if that runner's going to go home, but since she's so close to the bag, she goes ahead and makes a fiery throw over to first base. That's good heads-up defensive play right there.
You talked about how much they work defense, fundamentals. We talked to Heather Tarr about the shortstops that they've had. Allie Aguilar, Sis Bates, who was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12. Heather Tarr said every time you have one, you think, oh man, how are we going to replace them? And then along comes another one. But it's hard not. She said, you know, when I'm hitting ground balls to them, sometimes you think, oh, that looks like so-and-so. And that, tell you what, if that didn't look a lot like Sis Bates fielding the ground ball at shortstop.
Sure does.
Holtorf, so talented, such a great leader of this team. 1-0 pitch coming to the freshman Allie Van Brandt. Watches it on the outside corner. Nice spot for strike one.
Yeah, the lefty-on-lefty matchup, but Allie Van Brandt gave Lindsay Lopez a little bit of trouble in the first inning, went deep in the count, seen close to 10, 11 pitches.
Did not go around, and that's ball 2.
Here's Lindsay Lopez. Ball broke up. I think she holds her hands, keeps her hands back on that. Ooh, side view a little bit different, but I think she ultimately kept her hands back.
Bunts down, run coming home, and Indiana's on the board. Gutsy call from Shonda Stanton pays off as Van Brandt brings across brings across Kettleman, the pinch runner.
The suicide squeeze. You don't see it often, but in big moments here, great opportunity to score and put Indiana on the board. Giselle Alvarez tried to do a glove flip, but just couldn't get it done.
It's fouled into the stands. You got me on that? On a foul ball into the booth? Are you going to...
Probably not.
Okay,
no.
all right. Great confidence there.
Probably not. Eat every man for themselves.
This is inside. Van Brandt at first base has 12 stolen bases on the season. Off speed, too low to Alex Cooper. Back-to-back freshmen in the order for the Hoosiers. Two and two. Sophomore from Omaha, Nebraska, Ruby Malin, is in the bullpen working for Washington, so we'll see.
Yeah, a potential close situation. We'll see how this plays out.
The right field line shallow. Nice grab out there by Solis. 2 outs.
Number 7, the right fielder, Aaliyah Andrews.
Aaliyah Andrews trying to keep things going with 2 out. Watches strike 1.
It's a backdoor curve from Lindsay Lopez. Seems to have refocused and reset herself a little bit more, making better pitches after that first at bat. Good zone separation there. Backdoor curve was a little bit up by the number, and then curveball inside, a little more at the thigh, mid-thigh. So just separating zones, making the eyes dance a little bit more.
Andrews has to fight that one off. I like that, making the eyes dance a little bit.
Yeah, you got to make the eyes dance a little bit. You know, hitters want to target a zone, right? They want to target there's different ways to strategize, of course, but oftentimes hitters will target a quadrant, a zone area, and you want to make their eyes move from quadrant to quadrant. When their eyes move more, then their focus goes down. They get a little less comfortable.
And that happens, right?
And then you potentially get strike 3.
Coach, couple runs in the second there. Started off with that Brooke Nelson walk to kind of get things going. How special has it been to watch the season she's had? What stood out most about it?
Yeah, she's just a competitor and loves the game, so it's awesome that we had her for an extra year, and just being able to see her flourish this year is makes my heart happy.
Yeah, Coach Tarr, congratulations on your 30th consecutive regional here for the University of Washington. Lindsay Lopez got into a little bit of trouble last inning, but has been able to bear down a little bit. We saw Ruby up in the bullpen. What is the plan with her moving forward?
Yeah, I think, if we would have caught that ball in center, maybe they wouldn't have scored. But, they made good on it. And if we need to go to Ruby, we'll go to Ruby.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck.
Thanks, you guys.
Heather Tarr, she's thinking about that defensive play in center field. It's been a tough one, too.
Well, I mean, she is a defensive guru for sure. I think probably Brooklyn Carter's thinking about that as well. So it's one of those plays where the ball's right at the wall. You have to get to the wall first, and otherwise you got to play the wall or the wall's going to play you. And in that situation, the wall played her. The ball bounced off the wall pretty well and allowed the triple.
Best defensive center fielder you ever played with?
Ooh, best defensive center fielder I ever played with. I've played with some good center fielders.
I was going to say, give me one that comes to mind at least. I won't hold you to that it's number one, but
I mean, it's hard not to say the ultimate GOAT, Laura Berg, 3-time Olympian. Of course, I played with Caitlin Lowe as well. She made some epic catches and played against her too, but didn't like playing against her. And then at Tennessee, Sarah Feckerty, she 3-time All-American, also just incredible plays collegiately. So I've played with quite a few good outfielders in my day.
I like it. Alana Johnson, 5-6-7, coming up for Washington here in this 4th inning. As Copeland tries to put up back-to-back zeros on the board. Does catch the outer part of the zone.
Yeah, nice curveball there by Brianna Copeland. She seems to be working just a little bit faster on her pace, getting her sign, and just from receiving the sign on her wristband into her pitch and attacking the zone, just a little bit more aggressive in these last 2 innings.
Two count. Johnson had the RBI double in the 2nd inning. It's the only extra base hit for Washington. They only have 3 hits on the day off Copeland. Way out in front of that to foul it away and stay alive. Sophomore from Summit, Mississippi. Big time jump this year as a full-time starter, all Pac-12 second team. He's hit 13 home runs, driven in 37 runs. Both of those numbers lead Washington.
Yeah, you know, how fun is it as coming back another year and being able to, just year to year, being able to increase your numbers, have a better year from the past. I think it just shows a lot about the athlete.
This is driven into left center field, and it's extra bases again for Johnson. She is off to a great start this weekend.
Alana Johnson again with a double. That ball is plated over the middle. She's able to get her barrel there, a little bit waist high into the gap. No hesitation, standing up into second base.
8th double of the season, sets the table for Kinsey Fiedler. Drove in a run on the sacrifice fly back in that second inning. That was almost caught by Avery Parker.
Nice smile there by Avery Parker, knowing that she just missed that. One of the hardest plays when you think about a catcher, the reaction time that she has to make it with the distraction, right? Almost caught off the tip on the missed bunt. Oh, just so close.
Couldn't quite pin it there. Kind of sat on her arm for a second.
Yeah, she probably should try to catch it with her elbow. You know, just squeeze it on the gun there.
On the gun.
Squeeze it on the ball between the... Hey, it happens sometimes, you know. Would still count as a catch.
There you go. Left center field, long run for Kettleman. She can't get there. Johnson coming around, and a triple as that gets away to the backstop. Johnson and Fiedler go back-to-back extra base hits.
Good effort by Cassidy Kettleman in center field, but Kinsey Fiedler, what a hit. Low in the zone, she drops that barrel, gets down low. It has a little bit of hang time, but Kinsey Fiedler, once she sees it down, boy, did she go into gear number 2 to get herself all the way to third base. There you go, you'll see the acceleration piece right there. There she goes, accelerates. She knows that she's got to get herself to third base to help her offense.
Little celebration over there at third, too. Her second triple of Marshall. Bell starred as a player at Kentucky as that's driven through the 5-6 hole. Another run comes across. Sydney Stewart delivering this time.
Washington is rolling. Nice piece of hitting by Sydney Stewart in the 5-6 hole here. Just not quite close enough for Brooke Benson to get a glove on it. And Washington rallying offensively. You know, I love to see this after the run, right? Like the squeeze play by Indiana.
Scenario, one on, nobody out.
Yeah, I think right now it's just a big momentum change, right? You need to slow down the Washington offense to keep it within distance, right? If Indiana offense can come through. Sophie Kleinman, though, you know, an excellent pitcher. She throws mid-60s, and she just has a heavy drop ball. So balls on the ground are going to be the key for her to be successful against this Washington lineup.
2-0 count here. It's 8-9 to start off right now against Kleinman. Ground ball hit right side, going to get the lead runner at second and not going to be able to turn 2. Alvarez just beats it out over at first base.
Indiana defense here. Ground ball to Allie Van Brandt. See how she comes up and charges it, swivels her feet quickly to get that lead out. Great stretch over there by Sarah Stone. Not in time.
That was a close play at
Yeah,
first base.
Yeah.
Closer than I thought it was going to be when that play started.
I like to see the first baseman stretch. Like, that's fun, right?
Avery Hobson watches that pitch on the outside corner. 0-2 count for Kleiman. Trying to make quick work of the bottom of the order. One-two count. Slapped left side just off the glove of Cooper. Looked like it got a string at the end of the leather, and it's a base hit with one out.
Center fielder number 44,
Avery Hobson here. Oh, let's check it out. Oh, good effort, good jump by Alex Cooper, but I don't think it touched the glove. I think that was, we cleared it on that.
I think you're right. I don't know what I saw there.
I saw some air under her feet. I think she's been doing the jump test.
She's got some hops. Fouls that back. Back to the top of the order. Brooklyn Carter, 1 for 2 today. Stranded on third base last inning. Does get the bunt down this time, but spins foul. Wise decision by Parker to let that roll.
Yeah. Runners on first and second base. A bunt is ideal. It advances 2 runners into scoring position. Your percentage, your chances of scoring both of those runners multiply double rather than just bunting with a runner on first base. Now, Carter's just got to figure out a way to be able to advance them.
0-2, fouls it back.
She, of course, has multiple tools. She can, you know, with the speed, the triple threat, so to speak, the bunt, the slap, the hit.
3 straight innings, the leadoff batter has been aboard for Washington. 0-2, well outside from Kleiman. Got her swinging. 2 away.
Great pitch there by Sophie Kleiman. Outside, 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 outside. Woo, low and in for the big swing and miss. Really good execution on that curveball, righty on lefty to that low inside corner on the slapper.
Now the 2-hole Riley Holtorf. Throw down to first, and the runner will advance to third.
Avery Parker with the back pick, but not able to get her.
Catches the outside corner, and Hobson will take second base. Back to the foul balls you talked about over and over again. As a pitcher, when you see that constant fouling off, does it bother you at all, or do you feel like you can kind of set them up that way almost?
You can definitely set them up. It does depend on the hitter and the count of when they're fouling off. But oftentimes when you're getting, you need multiple foul balls to get a hitter to start leaning over the plate, which is what we kind of saw with Carter there. She, multiple foul balls, they're looking outside, their posture starts to change. And then if you're able to execute that low and in, it's an easy way or a very high percentage chance that you're going to be able to get them out on that pitch. But the key there is being patient on the foul balls. You have to wait for the posture to break.
3-1. Nice catch in foul territory by Sarah Stone.
College World Series for Washington. From Omaha, Nebraska. Not too far away, just about a 4-hour drive. She's a Midwest kid, but right-hander, throws the ball hard.
Runs inside.
You know, it's nice as a pitcher to be able to come into a regional game, to get your feet wet a little bit, get the nerves out. Ruby's going to be a big key for Washington as they go through this tournament. And it's important to not be nervous in those big moments. Get your feet wet, be confident back on the mound, and have your team rally around you. All right, little scouting report of Ruby Milan. She throws a lot arm side, so inside to righties, outside to lefties. She's very energetic. You can see it. Her pace of play is fast. She's intense, and she throws that way too. Most of her pitches are hard and down. She has a killer drop ball. Yep, bottom half of the zone. That's where she likes to throw, and she can really bring the fire. She can bring the fire. You know I like that as a flamethrower myself.
I was going to say, you would know.
Yes.
It's inside. 8-9-1 is who Malin will face. Mentality-wise, how much different is it to get into a rhythm as a reliever versus as a starter? Did you feel like your approach changed?
Yeah, it's different. It's completely different, the starting role versus the closing role. A lot of times when you throw hard, Cora Bassett just jam job, hit into shallow right field there on an inside pitch. But when you come in as a starter, you know your routine, you're able to get settled early on, and you know how to like establish zones and pitches, and you're establishing that zone not only with your catcher but with the umpire and the rhythm of play with your offense, and you can settle in a little bit more. When you come in as a closer or in relief, you are in the fire right away. And a lot of times if an offense is already rolling and you're trying to step in, you have to try to stop their momentum and create momentum for yourself where they're...
Quick word there from Lance Glasso, their longtime pitching coach, 14th year on Heather Tarr's staff. That gets away from Malin, and Brooke Benson, the 9-hole and shortstop. After Bassett gets on with the bloop single into right field, trying to turn it over to the top of the order with plenty of base runners. That is inside.
Yeah. Ruby, she looks a little nervous. Just needs to settle down here, reset herself, focus in, get her front foot down, and power through her backside. Just like that. There it is.
Right on cue for strike one. 3-1 count now to Benson. That's in there for strike two. Big pitch coming up for Malin.
There she is. You can see her front foot gets down. Better follow through and snap on her pitch there.
3-2. That's fouled straight back. Nice cut by Benson. Brooke Benson, a senior from Fishers, Indiana. Both parents, David and Sarah, graduated from the university. Started every game this year and the last 2 years, and rips it through the 5-6 hole. Back-to-back base hits off Malin here in the 5th inning.
Number 16, designated player, Brianna Copeland.
Here you go, Benson. Ball's a little bit too much over the plate there. Shortstop was shaded for the double play. Finds its way through the hole, and we have runners at first and second here.
A little bit of movement in that Washington bullpen. As Malin misses with the first pitch to Brianna Copeland. Top of the order for Indiana now. A ton of pop coming to the plate.
The lineup turns over. Brianna Copeland, third at bat here.
Tying run at the plate, 1-0. That's fouled out of play. See Sydney Peters, the freshman, starting to move around in the bullpen for Washington just in case.
Lindsay Lopez would still be available, I think, as well.
Strike two.
Although we don't see that a lot. She would be available to come back in as the starter. Ooh, what a swing. Brianna Copeland. Hey, Shonda Stanton said in our meeting, she also said, like, if we're going to swing, you're going to swing and miss. If you're going to swing, you swing hard, you know, and she said, we're okay with the big swing and miss. We want that because we know that eventually we're going to be on time.
Two. Inside, almost got Copeland. And again, another massive full count pitch coming up. Benson took the 3-2 pitch through the left side.
This ball tails a little bit on Ruby Milan. Good job by catcher Sydney Stewart back there.
Ground ball up the middle, chance for two, and bobbled at second. They say it was on the transfer. Shonda Stanton pointing at Brooke Benson to stay on second base.
Field is upheld. It's an out.
And I think they got that right.
Yeah, I think so too. I definitely think this is on the transfer. She secures it right there. And then as she goes to throw, you see she's in a throwing position. She just wasn't able to get her hand on the ball. So runners at first and runners at first and third and one out. Taylor Minnick is at the plate. We got a big hitter for Indiana, one of their leading hitters. Hits .453 with runners on base.
Third in the Big Ten in RBIs with 53 on the season. 20 multi-hit games each of the last 2 years. It's the 21st pitch of the inning from Ruby Malin. One. Minnick fouls it up in the air and reaching over but can't make the catch. That was Giselle Alvarez. So close.
Yeah, so close there. Giselle Alvarez, really good job finding the fence. She goes to jump. Almost had an ice cream catch or a snow cone catch, as they like to say, but wasn't able to hold on to it.
And that would have been a huge out. Still Malin ahead in the count, 1-2. It's down and in, back at Malin, it gets away, runner coming home, safe at the plate! Bassett comes across for the second run of the game for the Hoosiers.
A little bit of a miscue here. Sydney Stewart throws the ball hard at. Throws the ball hard at Ruby. First and third plays. They're always a little bit of a challenge.
Safe is being challenged by Washington.
Washington will challenge the ruling on the field. You get 2 per game. We're also creeping up on that 6th inning where the umpires can start to initiate the challenges. So in some ways, it's kind of like a why not try it.
So this is, Coach Shonda Stanton calls it first and third play, right? So Brianna Copeland goes like she's going to steal, but I don't think Ruby knew that the runner was stealing. So Avery Parker comes up firing, and the ball hits off Ruby's glove. Allie Van Brandt picks it up and is able to make the throw at home. Ooh.
The call on the field is upheld.
So there you go, a big run for Indiana to cut the lead in half. Tying run still stands at the plate in the form of Taylor Minnick. Cora Bassett led this inning off with a single. She comes around to score. Brianna Copeland is still at first base. And it's a 2-2 count for Minnick, who fouls it off. This is pretty much what we expected in this first game for very competitive contest. I think we expected even in game 2 with Omaha and Missouri. Mizzou softball stadium starting to really fill up, especially out on the berm around the outfield wall. It is a beautiful day in Columbia.
Yes, it's an absolutely beautiful day. Great day for softball. Mizzou fans starting to come in. But we knew this regional, this regional is tough. What did we say? It was ranked top.
Tied for second, according to the adjusted RPI. Toughest regionals in the country.
So these teams, the teams in the Columbia regional, they are not going to go down without a fight. I think that also shows the strength of the sport of softball right now.
Minnick into right field, and it's down! Extra bases for Minnick. Stanton waving Copeland around. It's a one-run game. Taylor Minnick's 54th RBI of the season.
Taylor Minnick, the leader of the Indiana team, she comes through, pulls that pitch down the line, all the way to the wall, allowing Brianna Copeland to get home all the way from first base. No hesitation, not a stop. She in a must-score situation.
That's going to do it for Ruby Malin. Sees just 4 batters. Gives up 3 base hits and 2 runs. A frustrating performance for her. And she's responsible for Minnick at second base. And just 1 out recorded as she came in relief to start this 5th inning. Gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs. Another one stands at second base. And in comes Lindsay Lopez, who started this game. First pitch! See you later! Sarah Stone flips the script, and Indiana is on top.
Wow, hitting is contagious, and Sarah Stone came in ready to go. First pitch swing, so aggressive. Indiana's rolling.
What a swing.
Catcher number 18, Avery Carson.
Mama Copeland loves it. Outside ball 1 from Lopez.
Here we go, Sarah Stone, curveball back from Lindsay Lopez. She was looking for it, belt high. She gets all of that. Big home run for Indiana.
Flied out to right field, 2 outs as Parker is retired. You remember when we talked to Shonda Stanton earlier in this game, it was when Lindsay Lopez was still in. She talked about her throwing first pitch strikes, said they had to be ready for those. And what do you know? She comes back in, and
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a conversation before Sarah Stone went to the plate too.
Yeah, absolutely, and there we see it again. That's the 7th first pitch swing for Indiana.
That'll do it. Lopez, Sarah Stone, well, quite the day for her so far. A triple, came around to score in the 4th, the first run for Indiana, and a 2-run home run to give them the lead. Tough spot here for Sophie Kleiman, facing 3, 4, 5 in the Washington order.
A lot of momentum swings in this game. Washington came out on top early.
Ooh, right at the center fielder. That was a really nice job out there in center.
Those are
settle in and make the catch.
Those are hard balls to catch. The line drives right at you in the outfield. Those are tough. Tough
Aaliyah
to
Andrews
catch.
now in center field, started the game in right.
Here we go, Aaliyah Andrews, line drive right at you. See how she steps back first. That's always a smart decision in the outfield, able to secure the catch.
Down to Brooke Nelson. Walked and scored in the second inning. That opened the scoring in this game, and then struck out looking in the third. This is her first look at Kleiman. Ooh, up and in.
Now, although Indiana scored 4 runs in the top of the 5th, Washington's only down 1 run. So it's really a test of their character. And are they going to be able to bounce back and gain some momentum this inning? Or will Indiana run away with the momentum that they've taken? Sophie Kleiman, a little bit more of a drop ball pitcher, not as much up in the zone. So they have a challenge to be able to adjust to her. And Kleiman, I like what she's doing right now. She's pounding the zone. She's not doing anything too fancy. But what she is doing is she's hitting her corners, right? She's not plating pitches. And if you can do that, you can keep an offense. There we go. We can keep an offense at bay with miss hits, fly balls, and ground balls.
And that one off the end of the bat over to Allie Van Brandt at second base. What a big moment for Sophie Kleiman early in her career, just a sophomore from Evansville, Indiana. Talked about the innings she's thrown this year, 121 1/3 entering this appearance. She only threw 25 2/3 last year, so she's approaching 100 more innings pitched from her freshman to her sophomore season. And then here you are, double elimination format, opening the regionals, trying to close this out.
Yeah, this is just cool for Sophie Kleiman. Again, the growth of an athlete, right? Freshman year, 25 2/3 innings, but 2024, sophomore year, ERA goes down incredibly and innings get maximized. It just shows where you start as a freshman in college is not where you're going to end up. And you could ultimately change year to year and grow not only as an athlete, but grow in your skill level and who you are as a person.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-1 count. Now she faces the 5-hole Alana Johnson. 5 through 9 for UW today, 6 for 10, 3 extra base hits. Johnson has 2 of them. She watches that pitch outside. UCF Auburn right now in a tight one, 7-6. UCF leading the Auburn Tigers. Michigan and Kentucky tied at 3 apiece in the bottom of the 5th. Swing and a miss. 2-2.
Nice little off-speed piece there by Sophie Kleiman. Drops off the plate. If you're going to throw off speed, throw it low.
Outside 3-2, tempted Johnson with that swing, but couldn't get her to go around. We showed you the comparison earlier as far as the level of power these two teams have. Indiana had hit 66 home runs entering the weekend, 63 for Washington. That's deep, but a nice catch out there by Andrews. And Pac-12 first team this year, Riley Holtorf said, Brooke embodies work while you wait. Stepped into a massive role this year. Her last pitching appearance was April 21st against Cal, so it's been a little bit, but she's been really good. 5-1 with a 1.93 ERA. She faces 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, Brooke Nelson, she's a two-way player, mostly known for her offense, but she can pitch. Her go-to is her changeup. She also has a nice curveball as well. I think the big thing when you see these two-way players, and there's that beautiful changeup by Brooke Nelson, I think when you see these two-way players, I think what they have sometimes that other pitchers don't, they have they have a little bit more of that competitive drive because they understand the offensive side and the hitting side and the way momentum goes. They also are able to separate their roles, right? Like, it's hard to constantly be a first baseman, constantly be a pitcher, and constantly be a good hitter. So Brooke Nelson is able to do just a really good job separating where she is and where her feet are in the game.
What were you like in the dugout? Were you more of a kind of on your own, stay in the zone? How were you?
Oh man, I don't know. I was a mix. I was a cheer. I like the cheers. You know, I like the cheers. But there's definitely times where I needed to like sit or just rest between games, especially when the weather is hot or the game is really intense or there's a lot of base runners on, and then you're throwing a lot more pressure pitches. Pressure pitches require a lot more effort. And when you have those pressure pitches, the stress on your body, the stress mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually changes.
You've thrown a few of those in your career,
Yeah.
pressure pitches.
Yeah, you know, I love a good pressure pitch, you know, most likely a rise ball in my case. But, yeah, those are the, you know, that's why you practice, right? Like, I think we forget that. We always talk about offense practicing for those big hits, but pitchers, they practice to make those big pitches.
3-2, lofted into center field and going back, off the top of the wall. It's gone. It is a home run for Alex Cooper. Hit the top of the wall. Indiana gets insurance. Anything on top of the white around the wall is out.
Her 8th home run, really high one to count, and you can see Carter tries to make a play on it, but it does hit that top of the padding out there in center field. And that top of the white, that's a home run here at Mizzou.
What a swing from the freshman from Mooresville, Indiana, donning the chain with the IU logo. Now Nelson has to settle in. Home runs number 67 and 68 on the season for the Indiana Hoosiers. Off speed, that's in there for strike 2 against Aaliyah Andrews. One-two pitch coming to Andrews. Off the handle, Nelson stabs it and makes the play. Great reflexes in the circle right there from Nelson.
Yeah, excellent work there by Brooke Nelson. She got a glove on that one. That's a tough play. Pitchers, your reaction time is a lot shorter off the bat. She's able to get the glove, knock the ball down, stays under control, has composure to make the throw to first base to secure the out.
Down to Cora Bassett. She's the one that led off the 5th inning with a single and got the scoring started when she came around on Minnick's double. Redshirt senior from Newburgh, Indiana. 3rd year for the Hoosiers after she transferred from Purdue, where she spent 1 season. 3-time All-Big Ten. This is the first year she hasn't received that honor, but still hit 9 home runs, which was 3rd best on the team. Watches strike 1. Talked about the depth of Washington's lineup, but Indiana has the same. And we mentioned it, day 1, really important. 97% of the teams that advance win game 1, as that's right back at Nelson, who stays busy.
Yeah. Brooke Nelson, again, right back at her, but able to knock the ball down, stay under composure, body up on the ball. Got to walk that off a little bit, make sure she's okay.
Want to advance to supers. 75% of the host teams advance. 97% of teams that win game one. That is a monumental number. This game, these next inning and a half, so important for these two teams. You would put yourself in a semifinal, one win away from a regional final on Sunday.
It's always nice to stay in the winner's bracket. It's not impossible out of the loser's bracket, but the road sure is tough.
Well, nice job by Holtorf to stay down on that. Nelson gives up the lead and lose points by performing as individuals and as a team. And Jocelyn Allo joins the roster along with a number of Washington Huskies. So we see the bunt laid down, and that'll be a lead-off base runner for Washington. Much needed in the form of Kinsey Fiedler, the 6-hole.
Yeah, great, Pete. Great, just smart offensive play there by Kinsey Fiedler. Softball IQ, right? You're down. You need base runners. You don't need the long ball right now. You need people on base. And laying down a perfect bunt.
So the bunt single for Fiedler makes her 2 for 2. She had the sacrifice fly back in the second as well. And at first base for the catcher to start the game, Sydney Stewart, now at first base. And that's in there for a strike, 1-1. Indiana 23-0 when leading after 6 innings. It's down low for ball 2.
The drop ball there from Sophie Kleiman.
Inside, 3-1. Swinging into right field, diving, what a catch by Bassett!
Ooh.
Full extension in right field from Cora Bassett.
What a gutsy dive, too. That could have been really risky for Cora Bassett. Let's take a look at it here. Great piece of hitting by Sid Stewart. Goes down, goes opposite field. Able to lay out Cora Bassett. Excellent job laying it all on the line.
Pitcher Sophie Kleiman loving that right there. Big swing from the freshman Giselle Alvarez through that pitch for strike 1. Alvarez 1 for 2 with a single, watches that ball outside. Great freshman season for her. 344 average. And this is just game 1 here in Columbia.
I know. I feel intense right now. I feel nervous. Why am I nervous?
You have less control up here than you do on the field.
Why am I nervous? No, Giselle Alvarez, she's looking pretty focused in the box. I'm thinking about what she's thinking about.
Ahead 3-1, 1 away, 1 on. Outside, and she's fired up. The go-ahead run coming to the plate.
Olivia Johnson coming off the bench into catch and immediately thrust into an intense situation here where her team needs her.
Just 1 for 11 over the last 7 games. That stretch, though, follows a 5-game hit streak. She's had a good year, hitting .299 for the season. 4 home runs, has driven in 19 runs on the year. Out of Texas, she watches that outside 1-1.
Yeah, I think, you know, that her stats too, when you look at some of those numbers, I think it's important to remember that Olivia Johnson is in and out of the lineup, you know, and so a .299 batting average is quite good for someone coming off the bench. That's not an everyday player. Sometimes probably seeing pinch hit roles, sometimes coming in mid-game like she did today to catch. So being a role player for the offense at a .299 batting average, I think is very respectable.
Trying to keep the success of that 5 through 9 in the order going that are now a combined 7 for 12. Ball gets away, both runners advance, and the tying run for Washington now stands at second.
And the stakes just got raised. Little drop ball here. Avery Parker goes to block.
Into right field, it's down! Heather Tarr waving Gardner around. We're tied at 6 apiece. Olivia Johnson comes through.
Olivia Johnson, what a great piece of hitting. Coming off the bench, again, very respectable with that .299 batting average. Doesn't try to do too much with this pitch. Just goes opposite field, got her hands to the ball, and able to bloop it in to shallow right field, bringing in 2 RBIs.
Avery Hobson back in for her at first base. RBIs number 20 and 21 of the season. How about 6 to 6, 9 hits apiece,
Wow.
1 error apiece.
Wow. The matchup, right? Like we said this regional tied for second in strength and RPI. Like this regional is tough, very well matched. I think across the board this year in the Women's College World Series, we have some really good matchups, but man, this regional here is a good one.
Gets away at second base. It was an absolute laser. Now the run coming home, and they score! It's gonna be obstruction if it would have been an out, but Avery Hobson scores, and she is fired up, and out of nowhere, Washington is back on top.
What some heads up base running there. Wow. Just wow, just heads up base running, taking the extra base when the ball was held in. When the ball is held here, they make the play to second base. It's bobbled, it gets away, it stays on the infield. It should have been 1 base, but she holds the ball, and once she holds the ball, she gets caught off guard that the runner scored, goes home. Ooh, never like to see a collision like that, but she was able to get up and was okay.
Now Carter is at third base. There's just 1 out, and Holtorf is at the plate. This is off the handle, just foul.
Ooh.
Another question to ask is, Washington now with the lead, who comes out to the circle in the 7th inning for them? Do they stick with Brooke Nelson, who gave up the solo shot but retired 3 straight? She looked good in the circle. The only one they can't go back to is the starter Lindsay Lopez, who already re-entered.
Yeah, and I don't think Ruby can come back in, Ruby Milan can come back in as well. So I think we'll probably see Brooke Nelson go back out, and we may see Sydney Peter start to warm up in the bullpen.
That's where she's headed, so she starts to get loose. The Huskies thinking insurance right now. Holtorf crushes this foul. Washington led 4-1 going to the 5th inning. Indiana plated 4 in that inning. Another one in the 6th.
Ooh.
Almost tagged out at third. Holtorf cannot quite beat it out. And the runner toying with Indiana at third base. That was Brooklyn Carter trying to force another mistake.
Yeah, just aggressive base running. Look at this tag, though. She attempts to tag Carter. Lucky that she didn't get her there. But then Sarah Stone holds the ball. And again, Brooklyn Carter dances around over at third base, attempting to see if a ball is thrown away.
Jillian Solis with a big cut there for strike 1. She's 0 for 3 on the day in the 3-hole for Washington. She's hit .317 or better in all 4 of her full college softball seasons.
Yeah, she does actually hit a little bit, slightly better with runners in scoring position, which she has right now with at .419.
One is fouled back.
Big cut there by Solis.
Ground ball right side, that's gonna do it. The put out at first base, 3 runs for the Huskies, and Washington leads Indiana 7-6 in the opener. Top of the order though for the Hoosiers, Brianna Copeland, Minnick, and Stone coming up.
And that paid some dividends for Indiana. We'll see what they do here in the top of the 7th against Sydney Peter, our new pitcher out of the bullpen.
Sydney Peters, a freshman from Santa Fe, Texas. Prior to a couple runs against Arizona in relief in the Pac-12 tournament, had given up just 1 run in the last 10 2/3 that she had thrown. Very talented freshman,
Yeah.
top 10 recruit.
Yeah, Sydney Peters, right-handed thrower. She hides the ball really, really well out of her pitching motion, but her main pitches are rise and curveball. Throws a lot arm side. There you go. Batting average against 174. Arm side thrower, so she likes to throw inside to righties, outside to lefties. Her rise and her curve are her best pitches.
It's a 2-1 count against Copeland.
Oh, that's
misses.
That was a nice pitch right there. I'm sure she wanted that. It looks like Riley Holtorf over there wanted it too, as she walks in to rally on Sydney. Yeah, nice pitch right there on the outside. Just not what they liked.
3-1 now. That does catch the inside corner.
Yeah, good execution there. Staying with composure as a pitcher, not letting the zone get to you. Continue to battle each pitch when you're facing the top of that Indiana lineup. In the 7th, one of the most important outs is that first one.
This is fouled back into the stands. Kind of off the top of the dugout awkwardly. There's mom of Brianna Copeland, Carol. Video going. Hoping to see something special here with Indiana down a run. Hits this hard into right center field. That's exactly what mom was looking for. A leadoff double in the 7th. Brianna said, if you haven't heard of her before, you will hear of my mom this weekend.
Yes.
And we could hear her right there.
Cheered nice and loud. Good piece of hitting by Brianna Copeland. Little ball elevated on the outside corner. Doesn't try to pull the pitch, which is key. Goes into that right center gap for a leadoff double. Just what the Indiana offense needed.
10th double of the season for Copeland, and now Minnick fouls the first pitch back. She's leading the cheers down there now. Taylor Minnick coming off an All-American season last year, hit .390 with 55 runs batted in. At 54 right now into right field. A nice grab on the run by Johnson.
Yeah, really good defense there by Alana Johnson. Off the bat, it definitely looked like it was going to take off a little bit farther. But Alana Johnson does a good job covering the hole. That's a big out. Makes her be a little bit more confident, right? The experience from last year coming into this one.
First pitch from Peters, inside, ball one. Off speed, and that's fouled down the left field line.
Yeah, good pitch choice there, going off speed. Just trying to, when you have a hitter that is as hot as Sarah Stone is, you definitely want to keep them off balance. Try to, if you're gonna get strikes, sometimes a long foul ball or a hard hit foul ball is just as good as a called strike.
One to Stone. Upstairs, ball two. Sydney Peters, 5-0 with a 2.15 ERA. 23 strikeouts in just 26 innings pitched in Pac-12 play. She was excellent when they got to conference play this year. Seems to have gotten better as this season has gone on, and hits the zone for strike two. Some oohs and ahs from this growing crowd in Columbia.
Nice pitch on the outside corner by Sydney Peter to even up the count.
2-2. Stays alive.
The off speed there again.
Stone had her first triple of the year in the fourth inning. Came around to score the first run for the Hoosiers, her 9th home run of the year. 2-2, hits this hard into center field, but right at Carter. And the runner has to hold at second base again. 2 outs.
And that was a big out right there. Sarah Stone, who has been hot in all her at-bats, but that was a really big out for Sydney Peter.
Here we go, last chance for Indiana. Avery Parker, 1 for 3 on the day against the freshman from Santa Fe, Texas, Sydney Peters. First pitch, strike one.
Nice pitch by Sydney Peter, attacking the zone early. It's Avery Parker's first time seeing Sydney Peter.
Hit hard into left field and deep and off the wall. Gets away a little bit from Hobson, and we are tied at 7. Avery Parker delivers her 11th double of the year.
Good work by Avery Parker here. Elevated pitch at the belt. She's able to get her hands through the zone, just near missing going out, and able to bring in the run for a tied ball game.
1.5 feet maybe away from.
Almost hit the white that
Wow.
we saw, the white line on the top of that fence.
Now to the freshman duo as the Missouri faithful pile into Mizzou softball stadium. This is slapped into shallow left center, ran down by Brooklyn Carter. And off to the bottom of the 7th we go. 7 apiece, Indiana and Washington. 4-5 lead before the Hoosiers tied it in the top of the 7th. So here we go, 4-5-6 for Washington against the sophomore Kleiman. Brooke Nelson will lead it off. She's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Oh, 1 ground ball softly to the left side. Cooper takes care of it, 1 away. For Kleiman, how do you settle in as a pitcher after you do give up the 3 runs, but there's really nowhere to go? We've talked about their limited options in the circle. What was her thought process between innings there?
I think at this point, Kleiman's just thinking, you know, my offense came back, right? So I just got to find a way to get a hold, roll ground balls, hit some corners. When we were speaking to Coach Shonda Stanton, she talked about, like, we know that our pitchers are going to give up some runs, but we need to limit the damage because we know that we can score.
Hard hit left side, a little bit of a bobble and safe at first. Benson couldn't get it out of her glove cleanly, and Alana Johnson is aboard with 1 out.
Yeah. Benson here, nice backhand, but she goes to transfer, and it just bobbles a little bit. It allows Johnson to leg out that ball and ultimately get a single. And put the, I guess, our winning run on first base.
Kinsey Fiedler, she led the inning off in the 6th and scored the first of 3 runs with that bunt single.
Good pitch by Sophie Kleiman, outside corner.
Fiedler, 4-time All-State at Lee Summit North. Near Kansas City, set the single-season home run record with 17. That was the 2nd most in Missouri State history. She was originally committed to the University of Missouri. When Washington got in town on Tuesday, they came down on Wednesday to Columbia and actually practiced at Rockbridge High School, the school that beat Lee Summit North and Kinsey Fiedler in the state title when she was there.
I don't think she was so happy about practicing there. Come on, coach.
Inside ball, runner goes, and safe at second on a tight play.
Gutsy steal there, but so important late in the game. Good effort and dive.
The ruling on the field, safe at second base, is being challenged by Indiana.
I think she's there.
Yeah, I think she's there. Right now they're taking a look at her hand. It looks like she might have jammed a finger sliding into first base. Or second base, excuse me. You don't steal first base, you steal second base. You think I would know that? Yeah.
Also checking if she left early. Let's see.
Ooh. I think she gets there on the tag.
Yeah, I think that's
She's there.
they had it right at second base. Let's see the call about to be delivered here.
Look at the people next to you, play for each other, and be confident in this moment.
2-2 pitch outside, full count with 1 away. Nice job by Fiedler there after solid little delay between the steal and then the review, the pitching conference to stand strong and take that third ball. 3-2 outside, first and second, which not necessarily the end of the world, right? You get the forces now?
Yeah, you have a force at second base now, right? You have potential for a double play. You also have a force at third for the lead runner. If the ball is potentially hit to third base, you could always tag her bag. Just gives the defense a little more options.
Inside strike one to the Sydney Stewart. This is one these two will remember next year when they're potentially matching up as Big Ten foes.
Yes, Big Ten. Washington moves to the Big Ten. I think officially August 2nd is what
You're right, yeah.
we talked about, August 2nd.
UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon. Pac-12 as we know it. Not quite the same.
Not quite the same. But until August 2nd, Washington represents the Pac-12.
So much history, especially on the softball side. Gets the outside corner, and there's two away. Big pitch from Sophie Kleiman.
Big pitch on the outside corner by Sophie Kleiman. Just an elevated drop ball there. Something that's definitely too close to watch. Great execution by Kleiman, being confident in her pitch.
Just her second strikeout comes at the perfect moment, but still one last chance for Washington in regulation. It's Giselle Alvarez. What a moment it could be for the freshman. That's a foul ball.
At the plate for Washington, 42, Giselle Alvarez.
In these moments, as a hitter, as a pitcher, your adrenaline starts to pump a little bit more, but especially offensively, it's important not to do anything more or less than what you've always done. You still want to work the count. You still want to get into good hitters counts and hit the pitches that you want to see when you can, right? And then become defensive later on if you get two strikes. A lot of times hitters try to be too big. They try to do too much in these more intense situations.
3-1 here.
As a wise coach once said, simple is best. Simplify the game, see the ball, hit the ball.
Their foul ball out in front. It was a one-out single from Alana Johnson. Then she stole second base. Fiedler walked, and there were two on with just one out before the strikeout. Now Alvarez, a 3-2 count, swinging down the right field line, fair! And that's gonna do it! The freshman, Giselle Alvarez, walks it off for the Huskies.
Giselle Alvarez, what a hit, coming in clutch, 3 balls, 2 softball teams.
Ooh, hard hit to the first base side. Nelson takes care of it. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Number 16, the pitcher.
A sharp hit, but just stellar defense by Brooke Nelson at first base.
That was the shortstop, Brooke Benson. Back to the top of the order for Indiana. Brianna Copeland trying to help out her own cause.
Yeah, two-way player Brianna Copeland does it on the mound in at bat for the Hoosiers, batting .330, 8 home runs, so she definitely has some pop in her bat.
Leads them with 18 stolen bases as well on the season.
Hey, do it all, Brianna, do it all.
No kidding. Over 100 on the year as a team, and she's got a little fan section there.
Yes, she does.
Her mom in attendance this weekend. She said, if you don't know my mom, you will after this weekend. Her mom, Carol.
Oh, there she is. Look at her. Look at her getting the video of her daughter. You know, softball's such a family sport, so, you know, we grow up playing the game, and our moms and dads are coaches and catchers and batting practice helpers, and they travel along to all the tournaments across the country, and, you know, it's exciting for them as well, right, to make it onto regionals and into the Women's College World Series, supporting their baby girls.
Hoping to see something special here. That's outside 2-2. She doesn't trust our cameramen yet.
It's the angle, I guess. I don't know. She's got to be able to text it to, you know, all the family, I guess, or before she can clip it from the ESPN networks.
I love the shot though of her in the background with Brianna at the plate. That is so cool. She's locked in right now. If we need some help, if we need any subs, she's got us. 2-2, that's outside. Great AB right now after that first pitch out to start the inning.
Yeah, Brianna Copeland's having a great at-bat right now, working the count.
Another foul ball. And to give Indiana a base runner and some momentum after an AB like this. 3-2. In kind of on the hands, shallow left center field, and Carter roams over to make the catch. 2 outs.
Yeah, Lindsay Lopez with her curveball here. She kept trying to go inside. She elevates it just a little bit. Brianna Copeland not able to get full barrel to it for a fly ball to Brooklyn Carter.
That lefty-lefty matchup with Minnick again.
Yeah, that lefty-lefty matchup. Good first pitch by Lindsay Lopez, the backdoor curve. You know, Lopez does such a great job bearing her heights on her curveball. She's able to put a little bit of spin on the end of it so that it might tail up or tail down. Being able to vary the levels or the lanes of her curveball allows it to be more effective than just straight across, and something that as a youth athlete you start with just your curveball and being able to execute that, but then just like there she drops down her curveball a little bit to be able to get us